how to make the right guy fall in love with you. Because you don't just want any guy, do you? You don't just want, the same guys you've been attracting again and again and again. And, once you do find that guy, you want to actually build and create an amazing, healthy, loving, warm, affectionate relationship where you both respect each other, you both desire each other, you have fun together, you enjoy each other's company. It's not just an existence. You're not just in the relationship simply to be in a relationship because you don't want to be alone. You have a great life, they have a great life, and you come together and create an even more amazing relationship and life together. Because that's what everybody wants. Nobody wants to just be in a relationship where they feel like they're still alone, even though they're within the relationship. And I know that so many of you ladies have been in relationships like that in the past, where even if you were together for 20 years, maybe from the start, maybe it just started to peter off after 10 years, and the last 5 or 10 years of your relationship just turned into not much at all, like you were living together, but not really being with each other, not really actually connecting with each other at a deep level. It's like you were 2 cars on a freeway, just going past each other in the middle of the night, barely actually having a real relationship with each other. The first thing that I advise all of the ladies that we work with, be your true self. Be the you that doesn't have the mask, that doesn't have their walls up, their barriers up, that can open up your heart. I'm not saying open up fully, like straight away the first time you meet a guy, because that's not healthy either. But I'm just saying, when you are starting a relationship and when you're inside the relationship for 20 years even, your ability to connect with the other person is in direct proportion to your ability to show them who you really are, to show them how you actually really feel, to ask them how they really feel, to communicate effectively with each other. If you go out there with this mask on of who you think the man wants you to be, even if you do get their interest, they ask for a second date, they do a third date, they want to be in a relationship with you, just stop and think about that for a second. Does it sound like it's going to be a fun relationship for you for the rest of your life, having to have this mask on, having to put all this time and energy and effort into being this person that they expect you to be because that's how you showed up? The second thing that's really important is take it slow, especially at the start of a relationship. So like I was saying before, it's good to be able to be vulnerable, pull down your mask and show who you really are. But at the same time, don't give all of yourself to the person straight away, because you need to take time to get to know the other person, to get to know what they're like when you first meet them, what they're like on a first date, what they're like on a second date, what they're like with their friends, what they're like in conflict situations. How do they deal with the waiters and waitresses? Do they treat them with respect? And the same thing when you meet their friends, when you meet their family. All of those different connection points are very important. And that's why we say, take it slow to start with. Don't put all this pressure on the relationship from your own perspective and also from the perspective of the other person. Because if you take a second and stop and think, when you meet a guy who's all in straight away, he loves you, he wants you forever, you're the be all and end all of everything he ever wanted. If he's like that from the start, if you don't see that as a red flag, that is a red flag for you and something that could be something you could look at. But for most people, if someone comes on too strong, too much, puts too much force and pressure on the relationship too early, before the other person has had time to catch up and to build their connection, build their respect, their appreciation, their liking before they get to loving. And the same thing when you flip it back to your side is it's much better to take it slower from your perspective so you don't put pressure on the guy. Because this is something that a lot of guys think about and talk about is, oh my God, I'm meeting so many of these ladies and they just want me to commit within like the first month. And it's just crazy, man. Like I haven't even got to know them yet. So just take a second and stop and think about how it would be from your perspective if you were on the other foot, if someone was coming on too strong, too fast. Because what happens is when one person pushes, the other person pulls back. So if you don't want the other person to pull back in your relationship, sometimes it's good for you to take a little bit of a step back. Not to step back and run away necessarily, but just to take a second, take a breath, allow a bit of space there, and just slowly get to know each other. Slowly, build more rapport, build more connection with the other person. Test each other out in different situations. Make sure that you are a good fit, because that is critical. Healthy guys, the sort of guys that you ladies say all the time to us that you want a healthy woman as well. They want a woman who makes them feel needed, but isn't needy. Because like everybody, you, me, your friends, everybody out there in the world wants to feel needed.